Hello, everybody. It's Suzanne Snyder-Johnson again, Sail Beyond Cancer Vermont. And we're here for our weekly broadcast of Experience Matters. And today is really kind of cool because today we have a very special guest who is a nominee of ours, who ironically, here it is, Colon Cancer Awareness Month. She had colon cancer is actually still in the middle of this process with two sweet little girls, and her husband came out sailing with us last summer. And we're going to talk a little bit about how important it is and how we're communicating with people and saying hi to people or saying things to people who are in the middle of treatment. And as many of you know, I too went through treatment, so I know this firsthand as well. So I'm here to welcome Neyna. Oh, here you go, Neyna, you're on. How you doing?
I'm good.
Thank you so much for being on with me today. And, today you and I spoke about how important it is to help everybody in our community communicate with those people like us. So when we were I say us because I was there, but instead of being sympathetic to somebody, saying, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry," I don't know what else to say. What are some other ways that people you think is helpful when you're in this place?
I think personally for me, obviously for everybody, it's going to be a little bit different, depending on situation. But for me personally, I know, when I'm sharing my story with somebody, I know that they are sorry. I kind of already know, that you're gonna feel, that feeling towards me or anybody, in mine or Suzanne's situation. And I think instead of maybe saying sorry, if you really don't know what to say, you can say that to us. Sometimes, even we don't know what to say. There's times when, I have friends that are going through their own health problems, not necessarily cancer, but, one time one of my childhood best friends, she's going through some health things, and she told me, one of her latest diagnoses, and I just started crying, and I gave her, the distant hug. And I said, I'm sorry. I don't know what to say to you right now. And she actually thanked me for being honest and real and, being vulnerable and showing her that, she's not the only one that's scared, and feel like a lot of time people try to be really strong for us, because they don't want to show those emotions maybe to us. But I think that is one of the things that when we are vulnerable and we put ourselves out there and are open to the realness of our situations, it helps us to cope and face them, more head on than when we're trying to hide and, kind of brush things under the table. So.
Yeah. When you and I were talking last week, we were talking about this very subject, and it's like, we don't want anybody to feel sorry for us.
No.
That just kind of deflates our strength, and like you said, it's actually more helpful for somebody to say, "Oh my God, I don't know what to say."
Yeah.
But that's more real, right? And that's like, you don't know what to say. So we encourage, and we're here to share with you all that it is important to be kind of real, and it's okay to be vulnerable. Then there's sort of compassion. There's empathy and compassion. Those are two big words. But what are some of the things people have done while you've been through this journey, which has been about a year and a half?
3 years.
3 years. Oh my God.
I was diagnosed in October of 2017. So we're going on 3.5 years now.
Strong warrior.
Yeah. We're getting there.
We're getting there, man. You are amazing. Neyna was diagnosed when she was 5 months pregnant, I believe, with their second, who came out sailing with us this past summer. That was fun. They both did. Both girls, beautiful girls. But are there ways that you can suggest that friends can be compassionate? I mean, it could be making meals, or are there certain things that people can do that make you feel like, thanks, you get it?
Yeah. No, yes. I guess some things that, a lot of things that people have done, there's a lot of things that people have done. But I guess a few of them is, when you mentioned meals, people are constantly thinking about us, even now, people are always like, hey, like they go ahead and they act on it. I feel like when you're compassionate about something, it's one thing to feel and, feel sorry for, the homeless guy that's, on the corner and he's asking for help. You feel things for them and, you sympathize for them, feel empathetic even. Maybe you can relate to them, but compassion, I feel like, is taking the next step and is going ahead and doing something. It's showing. That's how you kind of like show compassion, and to be compassionate, is to act on that feeling and that emotion. So there's been a lot of times, my friends have done, they've went ahead and they ordered fabric from California and they had masks made up and they started selling them as like a fundraiser for me. I had no idea until the masks things like that, dropping off, meals, calling me or texting me and saying, hey, we made this food, like I'm on my way, because a lot of the times, even when people grieve a lot, a loss of a family member or a friend, everybody's like, let me know if there's anything that I can do.
Yeah.
It's sometimes hard, especially when you're, when you're suffering and when you're grieving, it's hard to think of what is going to make this better right now. Is there really anything that somebody can physically do, to help me? And a lot of the times I feel like, what is most helpful for me, and, when people show me compassion, how I feel that compassion is not even necessarily the word, like their response and like verbally, but just knowing that, like, hey, I'm here. Just want you to know, just a quick text. We don't even have to have a full conversation. Just, hey, thinking of you.
Yeah.
Hope you're having a good day. Like,
or just sitting with you. Of course,
just
right now with
me.
Yeah. I mean, with COVID, it's a little hard to do that, but hopefully, but I find it, one thing that, I circled back a little bit with this, with sailing, with Sail Beyond Cancer, is I think that's one thing that's kind of unsaid, and it's very magical, is that we're there with you, and it's not like we're there saying, how are you doing today? We don't do that. And we, it's about getting out there and just knowing that we know exactly where you are, at least pretty much so, and to be with that and to allow you just to be and to feel normal, right? And that's kind of what, I mean, at least for me, and I'm assuming with you right now too, is you don't want to be standing out necessarily. Like, you just want to feel and be treated kind of normal.
Right. It's funny. So you bring that up. I have my next scans tomorrow on my birthday. And
Happy birthday!
And then I have my results. I'll get them on Thursday. But kind of when you're talking about that, it reminds me, gets me thinking, my last 2 scans, the results were really good, each time a little bit better, my body's finally responding positively to the treatment, finally. And so now that I'm getting closer to the end, though, I'm kind of thinking about, who am I without cancer? Who do I want to be seen as, after I'm in remission? What were my goals and what were my dreams and what did I want to do before, I became a mom of 2 with cancer, So definitely very emotional in that sense too. And anybody watching this has any ideas or input, like, feel free to pass it along.
Well, it's real. I mean, it's very real. And that's exactly right, because you've been so busy trying to just, fight this damn thing and survive. And you have 2 beautiful young girls, 2.5 and 5. Are they 2.5 and 5 now, correct?
Yes.
And of course that's your main, one of your most important roles, but it is about a recheck now. Okay, so what's important? What are my priorities, and who do I want to be, and who am I? And but you've been really wonderful. Thank you so much about being on this with us. And are there any other thoughts that you'd like to share with anybody here about colon cancer and about anything? You're very lucky to have been caught this fairly early on by chance, and through an ultrasound with your pregnancy. Are there any other kind of thoughts and advice that you would like to share, especially for this month of awareness for colon cancer?
Yeah, I know, extra special. I guess, well, first they didn't catch it very early. I think I misworded that maybe. So
Okay.
when I was diagnosed, it was already stage 3 when they had actually diagnosed me. I ignored signs. Previous years before, I can specifically remember 2 years before, being in my bathroom, and I don't think I've ever shared this story with anybody. I was in the bathroom and there was a lot of blood. I told, my best friend at the time, and, she went up to the hospital with me. But, even then, the doctors don't know or don't really consider, it to be, for me, at that time, I would have been 22, 21, they don't expect a 21-year-old, to have colon cancer or to be, to have as many polyps, invading, everything. So also, not only, it's important not to ignore the signs, when things are wrong, but also like your gut, I know everybody out there has got a gut, and, you have to listen to it, because it's not normally wrong. And it's very scary. I didn't have a primary doctor before, I don't remember when my last physical was before then. I just kind of, went with the flow. If something was wrong, I'd go in and get it, the quick fix or whatever. But I did not take care of my body, and I was not as good and kind to it as I am now. But, so just, not to be scared of asking those questions, because the worst thing that you can, you have something scary happen, you go in, you talked about it, and then they can help you with it. If you don't get the help, then it's only going to get worse. And for me, it was almost too late.
Yeah. We're so lucky.
It really was almost too late. And, the choice so I was pregnant when I found out, like I said. So they, initially, they didn't really suggest, and they did not recommend that I, keep the pregnancy. They wanted me to, abort, and then to do chemo. But, it had been done a handful of times, and I trusted my gut. My mom and Matt, they were great. And they said, whatever you choose to do, that's what will support you through. And, at the same time, I was given all these signs, whether I, necessarily believe in, higher up or what anybody else, believes, there definitely was something in the universe that, kept trying to push me, to get checked. And I ignored until I couldn't anymore. And, it was a beautiful blessing in disguise. So just don't be nice to your body, be kind, don't be afraid to ask for help. If you think that something is really wrong and your doctor's doesn't seem to support that, you can find somebody else. Like, definitely go, like I said, again, just trust your gut and your intuition, and you're smarter than you think.
Yes, it's true. It's whether or not we listen to our heads sometimes, our hearts sometimes, right?
Yeah. And it's really hard to do because a lot of us are stubborn, me included. So.
Well, it's right. That's so true. Well, thank you so much, Neyna. And I want to share with you and the whole community, and anybody is watching right now, Neyna is being nominated by me today, right after this, for another sale this coming summer with your 2 kids and anybody else you'd like to take with. And we'll be able to open it up more to more people on board this summer because of all that's happening with COVID. So
that's very exciting.
My gosh.
Thank you. Do you want to maybe, I don't know if everybody knows exactly what Sailing Beyond Cancer is. If you want to maybe share.
Yeah, you go for it. You go for it, girl. Yeah, absolutely.
So Sailing Beyond Cancer, I mean, my friends, you've probably seen some of the posts and pictures from our sales that we've gone on. And they take people, patients, out on their sailboats, and it's all nonprofit. Suzanne was gifted these boats, and all the the volunteers are awesome and amazing, and you get to pick a time that's convenient for you. If you or a loved one or friend, anybody is going through cancer or has cancer, definitely reach out to Sailing Beyond Cancer. It's a wonderful experience, and to be out there on the water like that is very humbling, and it's a really fun experience. So
thank you. I didn't tell her to say that. I just want you to know. She wanted to say this is very wonderful. Thank you so much. And I have to say that Neyna got to go on a beautiful tartan, the 4300. So probably one of the biggest boats we have on our fleet. And we'll probably be using her again this summer. But so thank you. Yes, sailbeyondcancer.org. I have the website right below here. And anybody can nominate anybody, any type of cancer, any age. And we sail 7 days a week, up to 3 times a day. And we have about 18 captains and a lot of crew and a lot of wonderful volunteers. So hop on there if you know anybody like Neyna, anybody you know, then help make their day, help them give a day of feeling cancer free. For just a couple of hours, it makes a huge difference. So
Absolutely.
yay. Well, thank you. Thank you. You're wonderful, and have an awesome rest of the day, everybody. And thank you so much. If anybody knows anybody you would like me to interview, reach out to the website and I'll get back to you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.